Okay, let's dive right in. Today, we're looking at a tool built to solve one of the biggest, most frustrating headaches in all of AI development. I'm talking about getting clean, usable data from, the wild west of the internet. This is a massive problem, especially for RAG systems, retrieval augmented generation, where your AI's answers are literally pulled from a knowledge base. And if that data is a mess, your whole AI project is basically useless. And this quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head. It's a painful truth every single AI developer and data engineer knows all too well. You can have the most powerful model on the planet, but if you're feeding it junk, you're going to get junk back. So before we even talk about a solution, we have to really understand the problem. Let's break down the usual suspects, the common culprits that can take a super promising AI project and turn it into a confusing, hallucinating failure. Now, don't think of these as just, little technical glitches. It helps to imagine them as recurring villains that are actively trying to sabotage your AI's performance. They are the entire reason we have that classic garbage in, garbage out cycle. Here they are, the top 5 offenders. First, you've got table shredding, which just destroys any structured data. Then there's context blindness, which rips facts away from their meaning. That, of course, leads to hallucination soup, the inevitable result. You've also got PII leakage, a huge compliance nightmare. And last but not least, format hell, which is just a total productivity killer. Let's start with the table shredder. So what happens here is your standard data prep tool sees a perfectly good pricing table or a data sheet and basically runs it through a digital paper shredder. That's because fixed token chunking just splits rows right down the middle, completely destroying the relationships between all the data points. It's a mess. And then we have context blindness. This villain loves to just grab individual facts from a page completely out of context. So your AI might learn the fee is $50, but it totally misses that crucial little sentence next to it that says, for Florida residents only. So an isolated fact just becomes a flat-out lie. And, well, what happens when you feed your large language model a steady diet of shredded tables and facts with no context? You get this, hallucination soup. The model, bless its heart, is trying its best to make sense of the garbage, so it just starts inventing answers. And this is exactly how AI chatbots go completely off the rails. So, how do you actually fight these villains? Look, it's not about working harder. It's about having a much better weapon. So let's introduce the hero of our story, RAG Architect. Its whole reason for being is to act like an automated knowledge engineering factory. It is designed from the ground up to take chaotic, messy web content and systematically turn it into pristine, structured, context-rich fuel for your AI. Now, this slide is really interesting because the contrast is so stark. A generic crawler just rips text, but RAG Architect actually understands the structure of a page. It preserves context, it generates its own quality checks, it scrubs sensitive data, and it speaks the language of whatever database you're using. We're talking about a completely different philosophy here. Okay, so let's get specific. RAG Architect has what you can think of as 4 core superpowers, and each one is precision engineered to take out one of the data villains we just talked about. Superpower number 1, structure-aware chunking. This is the direct antidote to the table shredder. Instead of just blindly counting tokens, it intelligently splits content based on logical breaks, like markdown headers, and it has these table guard and code guard features that treat tables and code blocks as sacred. They will never be split apart. And this is just brilliant. This is the cure for context blindness. Every single piece of data, every chunk, gets a full navigational header. It tells the AI exactly where this info came from, the source website, the specific page, and even the section on that page. Your AI never, ever loses its place. Okay, next up, the fix for hallucination soup. This is really cool. It doesn't just process text, it creates these battle-tested question and answer pairs. It actually uses an AI to generate questions for each chunk. But, and this is the critical part, it then forces the AI to audit itself. It asks, can I actually answer this question using only this text? If the confidence isn't super high, that Q&A pair gets thrown right out. And the 4th superpower, PII Scrubbing, is basically an automated safety net. It automatically finds and redacts all that sensitive, personally identifiable information, helping you stay compliant with rules like GDPR and just preventing accidental data leaks before they can ever happen. So let's see how all this stuff actually builds into a practical, flexible workflow. Because let's be honest, clean data is only useful if you can get it into your systems without a massive headache. And this right here is the end of what we called format hell. Reg Architect supports 12 different output formats right out of the box. That means no more wasting days or even weeks writing custom scripts just to convert your data from one format to another. And just look at the variety here. It doesn't matter if you're working with a simple CSV, a popular framework like LangChain or Llama Index, or you're feeding data directly into a vector database like Pinecone or Weaviate, the output is ready to go. It just drops right into your existing stack. And on top of all that, it does this incredibly fast. We're talking about 8 seconds per URL for the basic processing, or maybe 30 seconds if you want to include that powerful Q&A generation. This is how it actually delivers on that promise of transforming data in minutes, not months. Okay, so we've seen the tech, we've seen how these superpowers take down the data villains, but what does this actually let you build? What is the real-world value of having access to perfectly clean, structured data? This is where it all comes together. Instead of serving up hallucination soup, you can build customer support bots that are genuinely helpful. Instead of risking PII leaks, you can create internal knowledge systems that are compliant and totally reliable. You're not fighting the table shredder anymore, you're turning huge piles of docs into searchable knowledge and automatically analyzing your competitors' websites. And what you should really take away from this is that this tool was designed with a very specific person in mind. It's for the developer, the data scientist, the agency owner, anyone who is just sick and tired of spending 80% of their time fighting with data prep and is just drowning in what you could call data debt. And that really leaves us with one final critical question to ask yourself before you start your next AI project. We all know the model is only as good as the knowledge you give it. The real question is, are you ready to stop feeding it garbage?